Welcome to the hottest movie review on the internet today, the A-List. I'm your host, the game changer, Wes Troop. And this week I've got 3 brand new reviews for you. 2 that came into theaters and 1 that I reviewed on DVD that came out a couple months ago. And I finally just got a chance to watch it. We'll be looking at the big action movie that came out this week, San Andreas, the romantic comedy Aloha, and the drama biopic, I guess you could call it, Kill the Messenger, that I just recently watched on DVD. So let's kick it off with the newest Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson film to hit theaters. My review of San Andreas, coming up next. The biggest earthquake humans have ever seen hits most of the state of California. During the fray, a helicopter pilot and his ex-wife were on a mission to save their daughter who's stuck in a different city. So what did I think of San Andreas? I thought it's an entertaining action film. This is a movie where the special effects are in the spotlight and really can make or break the entire thing. Luckily, all the eye-popping effects are done well and make it worthwhile to see on the big screen. The earthquake occurs through most of the film, with some pauses in between to let us catch our breath. Oh, and move the plot along as well. There's tons of action as we witness the destruction all over the Golden State, hitting most of the usual spots that are destroyed in California-based movies. The characters also travel on foot, by plane, and by boat to reach each other before it's too late. We're also given an exciting opening sequence featuring a teen's car about to take the plunge. The story is pretty predictable, but most films in the disaster genre are, and if you're expecting Billy Shakespeare here, you should be smacked upside the head. Dwayne Johnson stars as Ray Gaines, a chief pilot who's had over 600 documented rescues working for the Los Angeles Fire Department. He also is still suffering with the pain of a divorce and the loss of his youngest daughter. Carla Gugino as Emma, Ray's ex-wife, trying to move on with her life, but gets thrown into the action. Alexandra Daddario, oh yeah, as Blake, their daughter who's on her way to college and gets trapped in a parking garage. Paul Giamatti as Lawrence, a scientist who predicts and warns the country of the earthquake. Hugo Johnstone Burt and Art Parkinson as English brothers who befriend Blake before the quake. And Ian Grufford, that's right, Mr. Fantastic himself, as Daniel, Emma's new boyfriend who ends up being a giant D-bag. Yeah! San Andreas can enter some shaky territory at times, but but it's an easy please for thrill seekers looking for a fun popcorn flick. I'm gonna give it the rating of do it. Yes. Is this a perfect movie? Of course not. Is it a fun time seeing buildings falling down and, you know, it's your basic disaster movie, but I thought the script was actually a little bit better than your generic disaster movie, and the effects are good. If you're into this type of movie, if you want to see San Andreas, I recommend checking it out. All right. Now this movie, I was surprisingly got some negative ratings, which surprises me with the cast it has. You got Bradley Cooper, Emma Stone, Rachel McAdams. Let's see if I gave it a negative rating as well. Here's my review of Aloha. A defense contractor is sent to Hawaii to oversee a satellite launch. During the week, he's partnered with a quirky Air Force pilot who begins to like him and has somewhat of a reconciliation with an ex-girlfriend who's now married. So what did I think of Aloha? I thought it's a muddled comedy drama. When I first saw the preview, I was shocked at how many of my favorite stars were in the film. The trailer is also misleading as it shows many of the events out of order, making it look like a different movie. There really aren't many laughs, and while the script tries, it just is not really that funny. Aloha is a lot more complicated than it needs to be as well. In fact, some of it doesn't make sense until near the very end, where more is explained. While it's a tale of redemption and has a few different love stories, there's more material here than is needed. There are tons of subplots thrown into the story, including business deals with the King of Hawaii, satellites with secret weapons going to launch, Hawaiian mythology, and a predictable kid storyline. Also, with the main relationship, the characters have known each other for only a few days, and when they start to fight, act as if they've been together for years. Bradley Cooper stars as Brian Gilchrist, a mercenary defense contractor who was hit by a missile and left for dead, but luckily survived. One of my fave ladies, Emma Stone, as Allison Ing, a fighter pilot who doesn't get along with Brian at first, but is won over by, I guess, his charm. Rachel McAdams as Tracy Woodside, Brian's ex who has a family but wants to talk things over with him. John Krasinski as Woody, Tracy's husband. Yes, that's right, Woody Woodside. Why don't they just name him Woody Woodpecker? Who has trouble communicating with her. Bill Murray as Carson Welch, a billionaire who wants to launch a satellite for evil intentions. Danny McBride as Colonel Lacey, Brian's old buddy, and Alec Baldwin as Dixon, the intimidating general who has it out for Brian. If you're a fan of the cast and are interested in seeing Aloha, I suggest waiting to rent it, as it may not be the paradise you're expecting it to be. I'm gonna give it the rating of meh. You know, that might be being nice, actually. Because of the cast. Yeah, there was no... I did not give it a do it for favoritism for Emma Stone or Rachel McAdams this time around, as I might have done in the past. This was a mess of a movie. Like I said, I like the cast, but don't let this mislead you to be like, oh, it's gotta be, you know, somewhat alright. You know, this is a weird movie. It really is. I didn't expect it to be this movie that it is by the preview. You know, so, oh, it'll be a sweet little romantic comedy. No, it's all over the place. And like I said, you get these weird subplots, this satellite launching, and you really don't know what the heck's going on with this until, I'd say, 20 minutes before the movie's over. And oh yeah, it's an odd one, and it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. It should be a it should be a nice, sweet, romantic date night movie. But if you take your date to this, I'll be like, what the hell were you thinking? You should have took me to Mad Max or the Avengers instead. My God. But yeah, definitely, if you have any interest in this, wait for a rental. And finally, a film that came out in 2014 that I just got the chance to watch through DVD. You can find it on Netflix if you so care to. Here's my review. It stars Hawkeye himself, Jeremy Renner. Here's my review of Kill the Messenger. The true story of a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist is told as he stumbles into a mega-important conspiracy concerning shady business that went down with the CIA and rebels in Nicaragua. So what did I think of Kill the Messenger? I thought it's a muddled political drama. The part expose, part biopic starts out fine enough, but really loses its luster quickly. I wasn't expecting Furious 7 or anything here, but there is very little excitement to be found for a film categorized as a political thriller, making it a hard watch for me. The first half of the film sees the journalist going into the field and uncovering answers about the CIA and drugs. The other half sees the consequences of breaking the story, with big-time government officials threatening him and his family. Of course, some of the officials involved change their story, and the media puts words into the reporter's mouth. Some of his most trusted confidants also ended up turning on him when the things heat up. We're told at the end of the film the story didn't get much attention because it happened the same time as the Monica Lewinsky scandal. The pace of the film moves very slow and takes its time making its points. The cast do give nice performances, including Jeremy Renner, who also produced the movie, starring as Gary Webb, the reporter for his own newspaper, the San Jose Mercury News, who went public with a big story against the CIA. Also included Rosemarie DeWitt as Sue, Gary's wife, who also has to deal with the backlash from the story, Ray Liotta as John Cullen, an ex-CIA agent who confesses to Gary, Paz Vega as Coral Baca, the woman who gives Gary the top-secret documents, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Oliver Platt as Gary's co-workers. While the movie will sit right with a certain audience, Kill the Messenger didn't stir me like it wanted to. I'm gonna give it the rating of meh. Yeah, this is one... You're either gonna like this type of movie or you're not, and I just didn't. I mean, it was okay. It's not horrible, but some of these movies are tough for me to sit through. These political movies that don't really have any entertainment value, you could say. See, I thought I would like A Most Violent Year, and I found that to be tough to sit through as well. But I mean, a lot of people like these. They give them A's, or it has 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. This has a 70, I believe, so 70-something. It's a hard watch for me for some reason. It's hard for me to get into it. And it's movies like these expose movies or based on true story, if they have some entertainment value, it's easier to sit through. My number one movie of 2013 was American Hustle, which was a little eccentric, but it's, with a little more entertainment value, Kill the Messenger would be easier to watch if it was a little more like American Hustle. I'm not saying they're exactly the same, but put a little bit of something in there to make it more worthwhile, I guess. Like I said, some people are going to disagree with me and say this was fine. I just found it to be a bit boring. But hey, to each his own, and that's why we all have opinions. Well, that's the show for this week. I'll be back next week with my reviews of Entourage, Spy, the newest Melissa McCarthy film, as well as Insidious Chapter 3. Oh boy. And whatever else I might catch on DVD or Blu-ray this week. So, until next time, don't forget to subscribe right here on YouTube. YouTube.com/WestsideOf515. You can like me on Facebook, Facebook.com/WestTroopAlist. Follow me on the Twitter @WesAlist and the Instagram @WesAlist. And of course, you can buy my book, The A-List Review 2014 Movie Yearbook. Over 150 reviews, only $10. Contact me through Facebook or Twitter if you're interested. Do it. Until next time, Troop out.
I am Kennedy, goddess of fire and volcanoes. Some say I torment Pornagendi, the earth balancer. Oh, when my violent temper rises, the earth trembles on its foundation.